a little bit of history is going to be made this afternoon. The fixture between Cardiff and their old rivals Newport.
No matter how you listen or where you watch, whoever you go with, whoever you support, the Boxing Day fixture will always be about tradition, ritual, history, rivalry and family. The rugby family. Yes, these Boxing Day derbies have been seasonal fixtures for more than a century and continue to attract the big crowds and stir the emotions more than any other match. Yes, some things never change, but elsewhere the landscape is shifting. We talk these days of regions, of course, as opposed to clubs, and more recently we talk of national dual contracts. It's a bonus Christmas present for Hallam Amos and for Tyler Morgan. Both have signed dual contracts. They joined Sam Warburton, Dan Lydiard and Rodri Jones of the Scarlets. That man's allegedly turned one down. But Rodri Jones also put pen to paper over Christmas. So interesting developments. But today's business all about regional bragging rights and who will strike the first blow in the Battle of East Wales. Yes, it's a very Merry Christmas to you all on this special Boxing Day edition. I'm afraid to say the weather's not very festive, pouring down with rain here at the Arms Park, but it's not dampening the spirits of our guests today, Martin Williams and Rob Jones. Merry Christmas to you, gents.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Ross.
And Martin, we talk about this dual contract issue, the fact that we've seen there today. Tyler Morgan has been given a dual contract, Hallam Amos as well. Now, Tyler Morgan uncapped, Hallam Amos just a few caps. Does this suggest to you a shift in the philosophy to keep the younger players here rather than trying to repatriate those who have gone?
I'm not sure if it's a shift in philosophy. I think they said from the outset it was, potentially to keep people in Wales. I think looks definitely a big step forward. 12 months ago we were sat in the studio, Armageddon, Welsh rugby, was falling apart. So it's always going to be difficult, these dual contracts. It's not as if a central contract where you can contract the whole regions. It's going to be people who are saying, why haven't they got contracts? But I think it's a start, and it's great for those young men, and I think it's brilliant for Welsh rugby that we've tied down their services.
Yeah, Rob, Martin mentioned it. 12 months ago we were in the thick of a civil war in Welsh rugby, the region and the union at loggerheads. Does the fact these national contracts have come into being now suggest perhaps a more stable future?
Yeah, I think so. There's more harmony within the game, there's no doubt about that. I think the regions and the union are obviously working a lot closer together, and it's important that they do secure the future of the game. I mean, I'm a little I don't quite understand where the whole contract dual contracts go. There are a lot of good players out there, a lot of national players who are not sort of in the frame. You look at the likes of perhaps Justin Tipperick, Liam Williams, both signed regional contracts but not a dual contract. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's probably down to finances and how much money is available. But ultimately, the further we can go along the lines of ensuring our best young talent stays in Wales, the better is going to be for the game of rugby.
Sure, we'll find out more in the weeks and months to come, but let's go back to today's business then. And just to confirm, here's how the table looks. The Blues are in 9th, the Dragons are in 10th, with only those Italian sides beneath them. But a win today could take the Blues above Edinburgh and closer to the top half, which of course is where they need to be if they're to play in the European Champions Cup next year. So let's hear from the Blues coach Mark Hammett then, who's mixed things up a little bit selection-wise. Phil Steele spoke to him a few moments ago.
You've made 6 changes again, changed the captain, you've left Gareth Anscombe on the bench. Is that your way of keeping the squad on the toes, or is that rotation? What's the philosophy?
Oh, look, it's a wee bit of both. You know that you can't get through a campaign without having changes. It's a really busy part of the year. The other part is making sure I've managed that I've got enough experience as well in leadership. So obviously Matthew Rees takes over that mantle, and but of course Gethin and those lads on the bench, which is going to be really important to keep that intensity for the whole 80.
You won your first derby last week, but presumably that won't count for much if you don't do the same today.
Well, they never do, and sport's a funny thing like that. Whether you win or lose, next week rolls around and you're only as good as that game. So we've had a really good week. We've planned well. I've said during the week as well, as often these games are won on attitude, intensity, as opposed to technical. So I know that they'll be bringing everything, as I hope we will.
Thanks, Mark. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Phil. Cheers.
Thank you, Mark.
And we can go from the current Blues boss to the former Blues boss. Phil Davis is in our analysis truck today. Merry Christmas to you, Phil. And which of these two sides do you think will be getting a bonus Christmas present today?
Yeah, afternoon, Ross. Merry Christmas to all.
Yeah, what's impressed me lately with the Blues, Ross, is their power game. And in particular, one, the forwards' willingness to carry the ball, and two, their set piece. And if we have a look here, we've got a great example of a line-out drive against the Scarlets more recently. You win the ball, but the key thing with a drive is to get the ball to the back early. The Blues do this really well. And then you've just got to start working beyond the ball, which the Blues are doing nicely. If we see Dacey, Adam Jones, Josh Turnbull got their spine in line, which has been highlighted there, and the maul is going forward nicely. The ball is still at the back under control with Navidi, and the Scarlets are really struggling here to keep this maul at bay. They keep going forward, they keep going forward. They lose it a little bit there, but they don't panic. Navidi drives low and scores a great try. Now this is going to be a key part of the game for me today. The Dragons' ability to stop the Blues' power game. One, at the driving maul, and two, around the close quarters of the ruck. The first and second defenders have got to get low, and they've got to knock those big Blues forwards back. It should be an intriguing contest up front.
Absolutely, Phil. One we're looking forward to as well. And we heard from Mark Hammett before that, Martin, and he's made 6 changes again. He does seem to like a tinker with his team selection. Sam Warburton's out with a shoulder injury. That means that Josh Navidi stays at 8, and Ellis Jenkins gets a shot on the open side.
Yeah, I think it's one area where the Blues have got a lot of strength and depth. Is open side, like you mentioned, Josh Navidi, who's the man of the moment as far as the Blues are concerned. He stays at 8, and Ellis Jenkins comes in. He's only 21, great talent, fantastic talent. Super fit, very intelligent rugby player. His battle with Nick Cudd today is going to be one to look out for. They both love getting over the ball. As an open side, conditions are perfect, really. The glamour boys, your 9s and 10s won't like this, but if you're an open side, wet, greasy ball, expect Ellis to be everywhere today.
Martin's in his element, and he only wants to talk about the forwards, as we've just heard. But I know you're excited about the Blues back three in particular, an all-international new look back three.
Yeah, they are, and the two Argentinians in particular, I think, have made a real impact. Their ability to carry. I think their first trail of thought is...
Sorry, Rob, we'll come to that in a minute, because Sam Hobbs is appearing on our screen, and Martin, I know he's someone you also wanted to talk about. Another perhaps unsung hero in this Blues pack.
Yeah, look, Sam's behind, Gethin Jenkins, just as Ellis Jenkins is behind Sam Overton, British Lions, and it's his 100th game today, and he's an integral part of the squad, and he's a fantastic player. Maybe you talked about central contracts earlier, or dual contracts earlier. He's someone who, if he did have central contract, he should be first choice somewhere, Sam, so he's got a big opportunity today.
I told you he likes to talk about forward, so much so that we had to interrupt you, Rob, but as you were.
Yeah, I mean, the back three look very excited, in fairness. Tuchel has played exceptionally well, and I think his first food of thought is just to run and attack defenders. And again, Amorosino is a great player, plays at full back as well, so has the understanding, the vision in terms of how to attack. And of course we know about Cuthbert and his ability to score. It's very much a power game with him. Still, I think, a lot for Cuthbert to learn, certainly defensively and in terms of his natural footballing ability. But as a back three and as an attacking force, you've got three of the best there.
Well, hopefully the rain will allow them to play with the ball in hand a bit today, and won't dampen the mood too much. So that's the Blues, a lot of good strike weapons behind, and a good pack, as Martin and Phil have both mentioned. What of the Dragons then? Well, Phil caught up with their head coach Lynn Jones a few moments ago as well.
Big news, of course, the last couple of days. 2 of your lads on national dual contracts. Do you think that that's the way that the game is going to go now, that looking to contract younger players?
Oh, very much so. It's definitely a step forward in that direction. We're a small country. We don't have the financial resources as perhaps other bigger nations do. We have to look after our talent and protect it and make sure that it performs as best it can for the national side, but also for their respective regional sides as well, to give us the best chance to perform in European competition.
On to today's game now. You've been quoted in the week as saying, are you confident? Yes. Can you win? Yes. The record in the Pro 12 might not suggest that. So where do you get that confidence from?
I think that you refer to the record in the Pro 12, and you're right to do so. However, we base all our statements on fact, and we appreciate where we've been since the start of the season with a horrific injury list. But since then, we've started to creep out of that, and it's no accident that the standard of our performances have turned around as well. Cardiff Blues, they're at the bottom of the league, just like ourselves, with 2-3 wins. And today's a 50-50 game, but we are confident that we can come here, and we feel that we're a better team with better players.
Let's hope it's a great advert. Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Philip.
Lovely, excellent. Thank you very much.
I've never seen a Lynn Jones not being confident. And Rob, we talked about how the battle is going to be obviously won up front first. Who in that Dragons pack will be able to stand up to that forward power that Phil was talking about in the Blues?
Well, I think one guy who's perhaps out of favour slightly with the national squad at the moment, but every time he performs he gives 100%. That's Andrew Coombs. I think he's a real quality player who leads from the front. You know, he's very, very physical. His work ethic is fantastic. You know, he's very much a back row forward who's fitted into this second row. So he's got football ability. He's got a good understanding of the breakdown. And, you know, Phil was talking about the power play of the Blues. Well, you know, you need the like of Andrew Coombs to really step up to the mark, and he's capable of doing that. But ultimately, whatever happens up front, you know, if they do get possession and they do get their fair share of ball, you need someone behind to control it. And I think Jason Turvey is someone who needs a big game today. You know, he's a good footballer. He's a talent. He's a very good tactical kicker, and on his day, you know, has performed exceptionally well for the Dragons. You know, in conditions like this, you need someone who has a real controlling influence on what possession they get. And there's a big challenge, I think, for Jason Turvey, you know, here in Cardiff, to really put in a performance that will help the Dragons perform.
Martin, before we throw to the commentary box, can I ask you for a quick prediction?
I think the Blues, I think they're full of confidence. You know, great first half against the Scarlets last week at home, so I can't see anything but the Blues win.
Confident from Martin Williams, a former Blues player, of course, and I don't know how much a part the weather will play. It is still bucketing down here at the Arms Park, but of course Christmas often a time where teams change their fortunes, turn their fortunes around. Both these sides will be making New Year's resolutions to start to climb that table now. And on that note, we can cross over to our commentary team. It's Gareth Charles and Jonathan Davis.
Thanks very much indeed, Ross, and a wet if not warm welcome to the Arms Park. And those who came in early made sure they were somewhere near the back of the stand if they could, to get a bit of shelter from the incessant rain that's been falling down over the last few hours. Compliments of the season to you, Jonathan.
And to you, Charlotte. Yeah, it's not a nice dry day, crisp day that we were all hoping for. It's absolutely chucking it though. But you know, the pitch looks very good as usual. I'm just hoping that they come the right attitude, where they will play a significant part in tactics. But let's hope it's an enjoyable afternoon.
Yeah, at least you know it will be okay underfoot now. A year or two ago, they're doing it in a mud bath, and maybe the game wouldn't even be on. A very, very late change in the Dragons lineup. Elliot D starts at hooker. Rhys Thomas pulled up just about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Looks to have injured a groin. Lewis Evans takes over from Talupe Faletau at 8. Behind the two youngsters who've had the dual contracts announced today, Hallam Amos and Tyler Morgan, the other change from the try scorer Ross Wardle last week when the Dragons got their second win of the season. So those are the late changes enforced on the Dragons. They have very highly thought young man in Elliot D, former Wales in the 20s hooker. Sam Hobbs, in his 100th appearance for the Blues, has the honour and the pleasure of leading them out on his own, and those in the know at the Arms Park appreciative of the effort put in by the Brecon-born prop. Alongside him in the front row, Matthew Rees takes over as captain this afternoon. Jared Hoyata is back after injury, and Ellis Jenkins wears Sam Warburton's number 7 shirt. Behind is Gareth Davis, who starts at 10, and Gavin Evans back at 12 to partner Corey Allen, the dangerous back 3 that Rob Jones was talking about. Experience behind, well, Gethin Jenkins, Tau Felice, Manoa Vasawai, Ian Goff, Richie Rees, and what about Gareth Anscombe as an impact player? Rhys Thomas, not fit to start, but with nobody else available, takes his place on the bench, and the Dragons will be hoping, if he comes on, that groin will stand up to it.
Yeah, it's a very strong bench, I have to say, from the Blues. I think everything points at Blues being favourites. I think Dragons, they've got to compete up front, but I think they've got to make the game as loose as they possibly can, I think.
9th against 10th as they battle to get up to the top 6, and the greasy ball spilt immediately by Josh Navidi, but went backwards as Lou Reed had his first outing last Friday. Tukulet on his left foot, Lewis Evans waiting for it. Pridey
Good chase there, good kicking chase for the Blues. Not much on. Take it or not, the kick.
It's Hallam Amos who's come in from the left wing to the far side of the field. And Lewis Evans, more than able deputy for Taulupe Faletau. Held on to it just a bit too long though. He's waiting for the bodies to get out of the way to try and place the ball back. But Sam Hobbs is the one who's getting the congratulations from his teammates.
Yeah, can't afford to be isolated. He's there. Hobbs is over the top. He's taken off his feet, but he was over the ball. We saw Phil Davis in the truck saying how effective their catch and drive had been. Very effective in the last game, the VD for 2 tries. So this will be a crucial area for both sets of forwards today.
Oyata with the palm back, so no chance for a drive on, and Lewis Jones doesn't look to pass his troubles on.
Right decision, did well as well.
There'll be a lot of carrying work to do for both sets of forwards this afternoon. Man of the moment, Josh Navidi. 2 tries Friday, he's in outstanding form. Davis. Up comes Tukulet. Cuthbert. Tyler Morgan. The ball had gone forward though.
I do like the Cardiff Blues fullback Tukulet. He adds something to them. He just seems a very natural footballer. Snazzy pair of boots on as well, to be honest. Look at them boots. Oof. Look at them. I'll be wearing them in my day. Alright, good kicking. But he has definitely added something. You know, he adds the left, very special left foot, runs the ball back. Very clever footballer, comes in, plays what's in front of him.
First scrum of the afternoon.
Fight! Set!
First collapsed scrum of the afternoon.
There's the referee's view. Mr. Hodges.
Well, in front of him, he'll have Sam Hobbs and Brock Harris, the South African tight head.
Did you get a pot of gel for Christmas? You think like the referee has a big pot of gel for Christmas? There he is. Look at that.
Fight!
Oof.
Set!
Like the chips on me. That's been an interesting decision. First kick, very kickable position. Or did they put it in the corner? No. Let's go for the point.
Number 1 hinging.
It seemed to go down in slow motion as Adam Jones and Phil Price have a go at each other.
Elbow's gone down.
See, Jonathan Evans can't get the ball in there, no chance.
Oh, you got no chance to get the ball. Elbow on the ground.
Experienced hooker, experienced captain Matthew Rees. Just pulling its line out.
Just didn't pull it. It was an interesting decision to go for the goal because the catch-out drive has been very powerful. But you've got to turn your pressure into points early doors. And especially these conditions, at the end, it's going to be a battle.
Plenty of height on that, so that's a good chase in. Corey Allen is there as well. Adam Jones
full back there.
Hobbs offering himself on Lewis Jones's shoulder. Working the blind side, just delaying the pass. Navidi. Gareth Davis defenses up very quickly, but Allen did well to get rid of it, and a good loop around by Gareth Davis to collect with Amorosino outside him. Turnbull. It's all Blues in the opening stages, but it's been turned over by the Dragons.
That's very, very good defence by the Dragons. They're soaking it all up. Good turnover.
White is then killed.
Lewis Evans.
Started every single league game for the Dragons last year, Lewis Evans. And Talupe Faletau just injured an ankle on Sunday against the Zebra.
It's a turnover. Lewis Evans in there. Getting isolated. And this is it. More breaks down. Good support by Gareth Davis. Lovely ball. Good cover by the Dragons.
Evans with a take. Coombs and Landman. Oh, good quick hands. Bringing in Elliot D. Nickad. Ben gets a very good layback, but hands in the way of Lewis Evans, Jonathan Evans getting a decent pass in.
Very good pickup. James Thomas.
Coombs with another carry, this time Navidi and Lou Reed waiting for him. Oh, great defence, but Elliot D showing real strength. Tavi.
Well, that's it. That's good play because he didn't get into touch.
So confident Tuchel, doesn't he? Will attack from anywhere. Even though Amorosino looked to have played him into a bit of bother, he certainly was anything but. Now then, men spare, Gavin Evans. Cuthbert out the back door to Corey Allen, looking for the ball round the corner. Fair play. Despite the conditions, both teams looking to keep ball in hand. It was a long, long advantage being played by Leighton Hodges.
I think that's advantage, I do. They've still got the ball, you know, they've gone 30 yards, they've still got the ball, you're going to kick the touch now, maybe gain another 10 yards. For the sake of the game, keep it going, I feel.
There's a very, very interesting one down to the Ospreys against Ulster with the last move of the first half where advantage was called over. It almost cost the Ospreys a try. But I think you're right, Jonathan, it is getting let go with nothing really on.
Had to be there, Charlo, I think.
Let's have some injury update then, Phil.
Yeah, thanks very much, Gareth. Rhys Thomas, TR Thomas, has got a slight, just a twinge in the groin. They did a slight swap between him and Elliot D. Rhys Thomas is on the bench and should be okay if he's needed to come on later on in the game. Just to say, it's raining here, as you can probably see on your screen, but you shouldn't worry too much about that because it's the perceived wisdom that this pitch plays better, the artificial pitch, when it's a bit wet. You'll remember this game 2 seasons ago when the pitch was like the innards of a dodgy meat pie, and it was an awful game, so hopefully we won't have that today.
That's Phil. Morgan against Corey Allen.
You're going to see young Tyler Morgan. A lot is expected from him, really. He's had a few injuries. We haven't seen a lot of him, but very high expectations.
Only turned 19 in September, so by far and away the youngest to get a dual contract between the Union and the region. Lewis Evans to Jonathan Evans. Gavin Evans with a tackle, so all the Evans is getting in on the act.
At the moment, the Blues defence is kind of winning this with this battle. They're struggling to go over the gain line, losing the contact here. So this is where Tubby's got to vary his game.
And the turnover puts pressure as Gareth Davis follows it down the touchline by just beaten by the whitewash. Martin Williams joining us in commentary. Compliments of the season to you, Mark.
Compliments to you, Charlo. Brilliant turnover. I think it was Ellis Jenkins first in over the ball. There he is. Great body position. Clamps onto the ball. Great turnover. And that's going to be a great battle. As I mentioned early on, himself and Nick Kidd. You know, two players who love to stick their head over the ball and try to steal in the tackle area, and conditions will play to that today.
Well, it's interesting with the Blues because you've got Josh Turnbull, Josh Navidi and Ellis Jenkins, all three with experience of playing 7.
Yeah, and Sam Hobbs as well, who's fantastic in that area. So it's Dragons are going to have to look after the ball today.
Turvey getting himself a bit of room and time as Lewis Evans very gingerly gets up after that hit. But he may well be called into action straight away. In fact, Tubby's there first. Spots a gap there, but the gap was there, the idea was right. And he had a bit more room than he thought to play with, I think. It wasn't quite as tight. He's got all the trams to play with.
Yeah, it's the right idea, it's just the execution, and you know, small little mistakes like that in derbies. Here we go. Great hit. Ellis Jenkins on Lewis Evans. I think that's what you're going to see in derbies, isn't it? You know, no holding back.
Good ball from Josh Turnbull from the line out. Hobbs. A little extra clearance work by Matthew Rees, who then picks up and gets the dive pass to Ellis Jenkins.
Done well there because he was isolated there.
Inside ball. Oh, good hit. Raining in. There's Coombs' tackle on Josh Turnbull initially.
Isn't they call it separation, or Martin, don't they? That's what they call it when they're on their own.
Yeah, separation. Needs to release. Does well there. I think if Coombs made the hit and went over the ball, it's fantastic work. And it has been very, very physical.
This is a turnover, okay? Ball goes in, run it on now, just run it on. As the ball is turned over, right? You see all the Dragons going to the right-hand side. As a kick, run it on, run. Now stop it there. Look at all of these here. You know, there's an overlap. This is what you do. I think that sometimes you can get away from there. If you do a turnover, there's got to be a pass. I don't think the scrum half needs to kick. He can't see what's behind him or where the numbers are. So he's got to give one pass or maybe 2 passes from a turnover.
James Thomas just signed a new contract with the Dragons. Landman. And Coombs in there as well, ripping it clear and getting the Dragons back on the front foot. Tuvey for the gap himself, then looks inside. Didn't try for the miracle ball. Dixon was right there.
So good support, but great tackle as well, Navidi.
Jamie Thomas in there.
Great support with Dixon.
Elliot D. This is the best so far from the Dragons and the closest they've got. Lewis Evans, nobody's quite sure who it is meant for, but they've held on to possession. Untidy though it is, the snap drop goal from Jason Tuvey. He's a funny little one, and Leighton Hodges has a look and says no, not quite.
Yeah, scrappy that was. It was worth the drop goal. They lost their shape a little bit. There's nothing else on.
That's Lewis Evans down.
So that's it, nothing else on really, he just pulls it a little bit, but
well, it's not a place for the faint-hearted in the opening quarter of an hour.
Certainly been a few big hits on that on the gain line. Yeah, look, there's a little go. Spots. I think he's
Ellis Jenkins did well actually to get over in the end.
He did.
He thought he had him on the outside.
He did, yeah.
I think that's what Jason Tovey will bring you, though. You know, I think he will make the odd mistake, and maybe defensively people will question him, but he doesn't really play to a set pattern. He plays to what's in front of him. So it's you know, he will test you out defensively, and you know, he's had a decent start of the game.
Yeah, against Zebra, he put a lovely couple of passes in. Try scoring passes. Just plays on the line. He has got to vary it now. You know, nearly 15 minutes gone. Nothing in it. One missed penalty kick, but
Lewis Evans has stayed on, and the Dragons will want him there as long as they can, because they've got 2 second rowers on the bench of the Dragons in.
Yeah, and an injured hooker.
Never released.
Again,
Never released.
I think this could be in Pride's range, couldn't it? I think so. He's having it.
I think in these conditions, anything was worth a shot. Definitely, it's going to be a tight one by the looks of it. So, worth a shot.
I think with the Dragons, I think the key for them is not making many mistakes in their own 22. I think with the forward, they've definitely got that little bit of extra, you know, forward power. So they've just got to play the game away from their 22. If they can do that, you know, they're in with a shout.
Gavin Evans there, is he, for going over the ball? I think it's somebody noticed the Blues the last few weeks have been very intense at the breakdown. You know, it's a fine line between giving soft penalties away or, you know, disrupting the opposition's ball.
That's where the Ospreys have been good lately. You know, everything about them, they've changed their game plan there. Presentation of the ball is good, their tackling skills are good.
Pretty much from the centre of the field. That's a great strike by Tom Pridey. And even though the Blues had the early pressure, it's the Dragons who have the first points.
Very good kick. That's a great strike.
The conditions are very, very wet. There's no real wind out there, so halfway is pretty much within distance with the conditions underfoot.
There's no mud out there as well, so a bit of rubber.
Handling's been pretty good so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I thought it might be a little bit greasy, but so far so good. It's been a really good start.
Ellis Jenkins at the tail. Gavin Evans straight through the middle. Oh, had Turnbull in support on his shoulder. Cuthbert surrounded by Dragons defenders. Hayata. Coombs straight through the middle, takes it away from the Blues scrum half and allows Jason Tovey to lift the pressure. And it's Gavin Evans tracking back after making the initial break. Now is to get the Blues out of defence again.
Taken in.
Tukelet to Ellis Jenkins.
Well, a lot of defenders there. Great line speed by the Dragons.
Davis's kick straight down the middle, taken by Jonathan Evans. Out to Pridey. Looking for a bit of position and just skips back at Tukelet. Now then, they could be back in the pressure here, the Blues.
It's on.
Picked up by Cudd. And there's still 2 men on the outside of Jason Tovey. Tovey tries to slide it through for Hallam Amos. But in the end, it's carried over, was it, by Ellis Jenkins? It'll be a scrum 5. The Dragons seem to be very alert in capitalising on half chances.
Yeah, he's taken over, scrum 5, and good cover, clever little kick from Jason Tovey. I think you've seen the good and the bad from Jason Tovey. Missed tackle on Gavin Evans in midfield, allow it.
I tell you what, a lot of people quick. If you're on it on, there's the bouncing ball as ever. Just watch this. He's got the goal. Now watch, stop it there. Just watch the work that this guy Cuthbert does there, right? It's a 2-man outside. Now run it on. He's in between. He can't pass. The kick is on. That's very, very good play by Cuthbert. A lot of question marks sometimes over his defensive play, but on that occasion, he stopped that try with a 2-man outside. Good play by Cuthbert.
Taking over. Scrum. Blackpool.
Yeah. His very presence prevented Tovey's pass, forced the kick, but that kick in turn has now forced the 5-metre scrum.
Big scrum for the Dragons this because they were under pressure in previous ones. Even in the referee's mind for the whole of the match, they've got to set this scrum and hold the scrum. They're very flat though. I don't think the ball's going out far. The back line is very flat. Get it out.
Harris up on the far side.
It's on.
Jonathan Evans had a go. Still there for the Dragons. D is there to pick up, and he goes to the open side.
He's played well actually.
He's had a really good start,
hasn't
he? I was going to mention him earlier.
Dragons forwards still probing away, close to the Blues try line. Jonathan Evans wants support a bit closer. Ball is available. Adam Jones and Landman having a real go at each other as Jack Dixon
going on there?
is still carrying on off the ball. Landman now going for the line. Well, it's a fiery derby, all right, but it's spilt by the Dragons. Knocked on. Oh, and they come away with nothing to show for it. But the referee may well want to get involved because there was a few punches thrown in a couple of different scuffles.
Started off with Adam Jones and Linyard at the ruck, and then Coombs came in.
What have you got?
All very lively.
Left foot ruck. Yeah.
Could be a while with the video ref on this one.
Strike at 3 white with the forearm.
Yeah. Where did he connect?
He connected on the body.
Right, okay.
But it was off the ball after the ruck had gone play. I'm not sure what happened in the ruck because I watched the ball. I don't know if you want to check if anything else has sparked that.
All right, okay. But we didn't see anything before that, no?
I didn't see anything before that in the ruck. I seen the 5 black.
So based on what you're telling me, I'm just thinking it's going to be a penalty. Are you thinking anything different?
I think a penalty was sufficient.
Okay, penalty sufficient against 5 white.
No, against 5 black.
5 black, sorry. 5.
It's a skipper. Landman has been called across.
AR report, okay, after the ball left the ruck,
judge.
okay. You put your forearm into the player's body. It's just a penalty kick. When the ball leaves, you go with it, okay?
Didn't call for the assistance of Gareth Simmons, the TMO. I wonder what else could have been spotted.
I think that's good work, you know. Sometimes I think we use the TMO too much. So it's great work by Craig Evans to saw it, call it. Let's have a look here. Bit of handbags. WWE. Oh, there's a forearm there, so I think it's the right decision.
But he's trying to get him off as well, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
if someone's hanging on to you, I think he deserves a clip.
Yeah.
Superb Hallam-Amos. So well done in the conditions and under pressure. James Thomas with a drive on. Good, clean, quick ball. Tovey looks back inside and finds Andrew Coombs. And then Brock Harris. There's a gap down the middle. Apologies for some bad language picked up. As Cud again looks to keep the defence honest, stops them from fanning out. But again, the penalty goes the Blues' way.
Come straight across. Straight across.
You can see what first Lewis Evans, then Nick Cud were thinking.
Side entry, removing.
But you can't do it on your own, that's the only thing.
Well, they've got a little bit of pressure on the Dragons. Unfortunately, didn't get any points. No, it's the Blues a chance. How's it go?
Good work by Sam Hobbs.
Good take. On Amos.
Pepe, Cuthbert just stood off him. So often we've seen players taken in the air. It was a good little 10 minutes for the Dragons. Go. Didn't add to Tom Pridey's penalty.
Yeah, Andrew Coombs again, he's right in amongst it all this afternoon. Great work from him, get his foot in the ruck.
Advantage over!
Tyler Morgan. Just for a moment, the Dragons living dangerously. Can't go direct to touch. Jason Tuvey. To Collette. James Thomas waiting for it on his own 10-metre line.
Sorry, this way, 7. Blocking.
Oh, it's been an interesting
7
call.
blocking. 7 blocking.
Well, the catch is fine, but it was the guarding from
Wait.
Nick Cudd.
Oh,
that's harsh.
he hasn't got to get out of the way. That's pathetic call, that is. You know, what's he going to do? Run out the way? What are you going to do now? It's just getting, you know, you have to have a little bit of empathy for the game here. You know, it's a 3-all in a really tough match, and all of a sudden, a silly little penalty like that, and it's equal now.
It can change all the momentum as well. I mean, I think the Dragons have had all the momentum so far, the last 10 minutes, and that could change it all.
You know,
he just stopped. He didn't change his line, he just stopped. Which is fine.
Poor decision.
Poor call.
Lewis Evans it was with a take, but Nick Cudd, he didn't change his line at all. He just stopped, which is perfectly allowed to do.
Yeah, you've got to run around people. You don't have to get out of the way.
Oh, didn't strike it at all, Gareth Davis. So, a bit of poetic justice.
Yeah. Put all that gel in his head, have a good look at himself in the mirror tomorrow.
So still just that Tom Pridey penalty. You know, it's been a fairly lively opening 25. Amorosino looking for a bit of space.
The one thing you got to remember on this pitch is, if you kick, right, the ball just dies on it. It's not like a normal pitch where it's going to skip and bounce on into touch. It's going to, once it hits the ground, the rubber on the pitch just checks the whole bouncer in the momentum.
Just seems to stick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Stick on it,
So you've got to give it a little bit more, I think.
Dragons have had most of the ball, but mostly in their own half as well. Putner making sure he checked the ball in the air.
The two Argentinian boys, they're good players and they're solid. Amorosini took the lead.
Pridey again safe under the high ball. They are being tested, the Dragons back three.
I'd certainly try and play a little. I'd certainly try and play a little bit wider if I were the Dragons, because the Blues defence is solid. You know, 1 out.
Davis straight into the hands of Jonathan Evans. Cuthbert. Amorosino.
Right hold.
A chance to counter attack now down the right hand side.
Lewis Evans to Tuvey. Going in the right direction to Pridey. He beats the first man.
Yeah, so stranded open side flank out there, took him on.
A good take by Coombs.
Still on the go again.
Amos just looking for position, pinning the Blues back.
It's good players and nothing really on there. Seemed to have numbers. I think it was mostly forward, so just put them in the corner. The Blues under pressure.
Two.
Jonathan.
Yeah, let's watch it. You had a couple of people on as an all. If you run it on here, run it on. Stop it there. Right, just watch this. There's let's have a look. If you watch these boys here, okay, they've gone in front of the ball's gone here. But just watch these three. That's all they can do is drift over here. So the boys, the dummy runners, have got to hold the line, run it on. See, no, and they've got to kick them because those three dummy runners aren't taking anyone out. You've got to run either a little bit deeper, change your angle. You've got the main purpose of a dummy run is to fix defenders. If you're in front of the ball and you don't fix any defenders, you must as well be stood on the touchline.
The two captains told to have a word with the two respective packs.
Stay 15, okay?
Go!
More pressure comes on.
Advantage white. Back foot, black foot.
Oh, there's a
Advantage knock on.
Knock on, so I tell you what, I wouldn't. Oof.
Advantage over.
It's a very good kick from there, actually.
Amos beats a man and finds himself in a bit of space as well. Now quick ball could be handy for the Dragons. Tuvey himself, head in hands, knew the quality of the delivery wasn't good enough because it was on, set up by Hallam Amos.
Yeah, I think the Dragons have just got to keep a little bit calmness here because they have opportunities. Just once the ball goes across, and they're very flat on this occasion and they're drifting across very flat. They've got to hold their depth a little bit, and vary their angles of running. Very difficult pass for Tuvey there.
But he knew that the two men were there to just fucking tuckle-et for the Blues.
Crouch! Bind! Set! His feet are too far back, he just hit the deck then. His feet are too far back, he just gone face down.
Surprised Adam doesn't agree with his decision there. You could see his feet did go from underneath him then, whether it was because they were too far away, like Leighton Hodges says. We shall see again in the replay.
And Adam Jones obviously felt it was just a slip.
But I think they have been on top, so I think that's why he's surprised.
Yeah.
A big call this is.
It is a big call.
Do you want the scrum Jeff for me?
No,
Here we
you
go.
can have that, you can have
Yeah, solid there. Bit too much of a close-up. You couldn't see his feet, but Leighton Hodges said his feet were too far away, and that's why he collapsed.
Landman takes the line out. Lewis Evans and Elliot D latch themselves on as they go for the drive over. The Petson is there. The try line is there for Elliot D, and that is a very, very well worked driving line. So well done, so simple, but incredibly effective.
Well, he has had a big game. We mentioned it, didn't we? Oh, you can take this one, Matt.
Yeah, here we go. Brave call going for the corner. It's a great line-out, great set-up at front. Say Elliot will have all the headlines, but it's the hard work in front of him. You know, the front fight, the boys, his fellow props. Second rows, there it is. They managed to get separation between themselves and the Blues, and it's just great work. James Thomas at the front there leading the way. And they're nothing more than they deserve. I think the last 10 minutes they've had all the momentum, all the possession. Very well worked try.
I tell you what, that was very, very well worked by the Dragons, but I don't think any of the Cardiff coaches will be happy with that defence. That was very, very. I think they were surprised how much momentum they got on it.
They were motoring over the try line.
kick.
Good strike.
What a kick.
That's a superb kick from Jason Tovey, from Tom Pridey, and
I tell you what,
10-0 for the Dragons.
What a decision now, is confidence in their catch and drive.
Let's go to Phil.
Kingsley Jones, Dragons head coach, how important was it that you got that try there to cap the pressure?
Yeah, it's really positive from the players. They opted to kick into the corner. We had discussed it, you know, kicking a goal is difficult in these conditions. Positive play to go to the corner, and we've got the 7 points, which is a great reward, and it should give us a bit of confidence now leading into the half.
And good for Elliot, because he only knew about a minute before he was due to play, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elliot, he's a fabulous player. He's going to come right through, and you know, there was no problem there swapping him in for TR. It's obviously sad there that TR had to drop to the bench. Wasn't quite right in his groin, but yeah, great for him to be on the score sheet.
And it's not a bad spectacle either, is it? It's tough and hard.
No, it's a physical game. It's a derby. We had a little bit of scuffles and skirmishes, and you know, we've just messed about a little bit too much with the ball in the first for 15 minutes and tried to play from too deep. We want to be positive. We've got to play from the right areas, and let's hope we can keep the lead now into the half time.
Thanks, Kingsley.
Thank you.
Well, mistake there. That's what you don't want, is a mistake. Ball was taken in. Here we go, taken in. Good pressure from, I think it's Lewis Jones, and that's straight in the touch. So good attacking position for the Blues.
The Blues looking to finish strongly. Great take by Ellis Jenkins. His arm seemed to be taken as well, but they've got the ball and they've got the drive, so they're quite happy at the moment.
6 out, 6 left.
Hobbs gets the ball to ground. Oh, great pass, as the defence were all drawn in. Now they don't commit too many numbers to the breakdown, the Dragons, keeping men on their feet in the wider spaces defensively.
Good discipline with the Dragons, actually.
Hoyata lays it back. Hobbs offers himself.
Great play. What a play that is.
James Thomas comes away with it. Links up with Cudd to Tovey. The chase is on. Tukulet gets there first. Amos forces him out of play, and the defence by the Dragons was solid, was excellent, and took them all the way back downfield.
Well, the Dragons' tails are up now. Just watch this steal. Great steal. It goes back from there. Then there's a little flick, and they're away.
Great awareness by Landman.
But again, ball goes wide. It's the pace of Cuthbert. Look, he stays out, forces Tovey into the kick, but then a good kick and chase. The bounce of the ball and the execution of the Drags at the moment.
They have their tails up, but they missed the man at the tail they meant to get.
I tell you what, I sit back in the pocket here and drop the goal. Keep it. He's in the pocket, yeah. He's either going to go shoot to the left-hand side or go. What he's got to do now? If you just watch, Lewis Jones is going to shoot out his number 9. Oh, they've gone the right-hand side.
Dixon, they're looking for the try rather than the drop goal to finish the first half. Landman just about keeps it alive. Evans. Elliot D takes it on again.
Well, they've got to reorganise now, Dragons, because they're very tight defensively.
Penalty advantage to the Dragons.
Well, now it's a free play.
Well, the drop goal is on to Pridey. It was a free play, and they'll come back for another shot at goal.
Down, you coming into the 9.
I don't see why they went for the drop goal. No need to go for the drop goal. They've got the 3 points. Just keep their composure and try and force kind of an overlap situation.
2 rolling in. Tackler's number I didn't get.
Yeah, that was the time not to go for the drop goal. The previous one could have been. That was the time to go for 5, because 3 was on the plate anyway. Tom Pridey Safely puts over another 3 points for the Dragons, and what a finish to the first half it is from the men of Gwent. Well, the Blues fans silenced as the Dragons putting the game together in the second quarter. Again, aware of what the Blues are going for, putting the pressure on, looking to charge the kick down, and Jonathan Evans keeping it tight, making Lewis Jones go for the tackle rather than the charge down. Coombs inches them forward.
Use it! What they can't do now is stop playing, the Dragons. They can't stop playing yet. Plenty of time left. Bit of chase.
Great pressure on Gareth Davis. Swallowed up in the tackle. Jenkins.
Oh,
great hit on Hayata.
Great hit. James Thomas, what a hit that is.
Matthew Rees with a carry.
I think they're starting to panic a little bit, the Blues. They got chance still on. Got to go wide.
Everybody thought there was some kind of knock-on or obstruction or barging, but play on. And Tukulet's kick straight down Pridey's throat.
Distance now.
He's gone for height rather than distance, Tom Pridey. Tukulet takes well. Hobbs.
Well, I think there'll be a few substitutions at half-time with the Blues, and I can see Anscombe coming on for one. I think they need direction. I think there's not much happening behind. Needs a bit of injection of pace and variety, so unfortunately there might be a change of 10.
Gareth Davis looking for something different with Cuthbert on his shoulder. Pridey can't gather. Now it'll give the Blues a scrum and one last effort at the end of the first half.
Just a knock on.
Try break that blank.
Jonathan, we just hold it. This is, if you're an outside half, right? Just watch. What you try and do. This is the stand-up position. What happens here is everyone's going to shoot out to the line, and usually, right, what happens is this number 9 is going to put pressure on him. So what happens is, what you do then is you dummy the kick and go that way and use this guy for the 2-on-1. That's as an outside half. What you have to do sometimes is anticipate what the defence are going to do, you know, and then have a try from it, really. So there you go. As Steely, as eagle-eyed Steely pointed out,
it's raining.
It's raining, okay? See why now he's a super summariser, Steely, with that peripheral vision of his full-back play.
We haven't seen his new Christmas scarf yet, too, either.
But this is the last option with the Blues. You just feel they need something now. They need to build. Just to build, hit midfield, get a 3 points on the board just before half-time or something.
Well, they will get a chance because with the clock turning red, they have one more penalty.
Yeah, it's a big kick as well for Gareth Davis. He's missed a couple. You know, this is a pressure kick for him. Be happy to get this over. I can see a change at half-time. It's the same offensively. The pressure is on and down it goes. Well, don't ask me. That looked as if he lost his footing.
And Adam ended up flat and on his face again, but different outcome. The second effort in particular, he didn't catch at all, Gareth Davis. Just needs Watch his timing. Better strike.
Yeah, lovely strike.
And with the very last kick of the first half, the Blues get their first points. But it's the Dragons with that great finish and that Elliot Dee try who lead by 13 points to 3. Phil.
Lewis Jones, Blues scrum half. What do you need to do to get back into this in the second half?
Well, to be honest, our kicking game's poor. Just need to keep hold of the ball. Obviously, the weather's dictating the game. We need to keep hold of it, keep our skills up, play in the right areas. At the minute, we're not playing in the right areas, and it's killing us.
And just a quick word about the intensity, because it looks really full on.
Yeah, it is. They bring it. You know, the Dragons are an honest team. They're bringing it.
Thanks very much for your time. That was Lewis Jones, the Blues scrum half. Here's Ross with the story of the half.
Well, a big festive derby for both sides. Both sides looking to climb the table, and it was always going to be an explosive one here at the Arms Park. The weather has put a bit of a dampener on things, but the Dragons have seized the initiative here. A 50-metre penalty from Tom Privey putting them into the lead, and after a bit of a purple patch, they decided boldly to go for the line-up when given a penalty, and certainly paid off. Elliot Dee crashing over at the back of that driving maul. Well, Gareth Davies has kicked one over for Blues after missing his first 2 attempts, so 13-3 is the half-time score. So the Blues still in this match here, but some interesting stats. Have a look at those metres made. Dragons 177 to the Blues 99, so they're certainly making more of the ball they've had. And in terms of turnovers, 5-2 to the Dragons. We talked briefly before the game about the Battle of the Breakdown, and it appears they're on top, and we've got 2 perfect exponents of that game in studio with us, so we can discuss that in a bit more depth. But first of all, we've got a Martin. Well, first of all, I should say we're delighted to have in studio a special Christmas guest, Sam Warburton, the Wales and Lions captain. Welcome, Sam. Happy Christmas to you. Did you have a good one?
Yeah, very good, thanks. It's a little bit of a guilt trip when you see the boys training on New Year's Eve. You know, I had to go in and they give me a tough running session and set me off for Christmas Day. But the Boxing Day game at home here is always one that you want to play in. We've got the return fixture then next week at Rodney Parade. But yeah, gutted actually not to be playing in this one. It's a good battle.
Pause down. I was struggling to believe you there, but we'll probably see you back for the return fixture. Martin, the last words you said to me before rushing off to the commentary box for Blues victory is not in doubt. What's happened?
I told you, didn't I? I couldn't see anything but the Blues win. Shows how much I know. Dragons fully deserve, to be 10 points in front. I think the turnover stat was very evident. I think a few times the Blues have got around the 22 area of the Dragons, and some great steals. Andrew Coombs, Lewis Evans, Nick Cudd, they've all been in there, and yeah, I wouldn't say a really dominant performance, but I just think they deserve to be on top.
Rob has been smiling smugly all through that first half because he picked Andrew Coombs as the one to watch, and he has been on fire. We'll come back to that, Rob, in a second. But first, Phil Davis is in our analysis truck. And Phil, Martin mentioned there the Battle of the Breakdown. It's been a pretty compelling one so far this first half.
Oh, it has. It's been fantastic in many ways. The first 30 minutes, Ross, in particular, I've seen the breakdown being extremely keenly contested. It's stopped momentum, and it's also created opportunities. If you have a look here, it's a great tackle on Lewis Evans. Sam Hobbs is in early over the ball, gets a penalty off the referee. It's a great turnover, relieves pressure. Same again, Navidi in there, great hit over the ball, turnover. Blues are playing again, relieving pressure. Now it's the Dragons' turn. Blues in a good field position. Coombsy smashes Turnbull there, gets over the ball quickly. Penalty given. Again, same again. Navidi spins out, but Coombs again is strong. He's over that ball, and it's been really, really keenly contested, and Ellis Jenkins can start playing. It's been a fantastic first half in that aspect, and it's lacked a little bit of momentum for both teams because the breakdown has been so keenly contested. Interesting second half.
Thanks, Phil. Well, as I said, we've got 2 exponents of the arts of the breakdown in studio with us, Sam Warburton and Martin Williams. Sam, how do you make of what Phil said there? Is that the area you think where this game will ultimately be won and lost?
All the games that I've played in, when it's been Cardiff, Newport, when you're sitting down as a team in the week, the one thing you say is that they come at you at the breakdown, they're going to make it a bit of a scrap there. So we would have known that going into the game. That's one area where the Dragons are very good. I thought the 2 examples they showed of Coombsy just getting his foot in and just making it messy, but it just stops us getting our game going. And our game is quite a simple game plan, but if you're not getting quick ball, that makes it very difficult to play.
Andrew Coombs featured in those clips there. You picked him as your one to watch, and he has been very, very impressive in that first half, Rob.
I said it's just his work ethic. I said he's played in the back row. He'll make his tackles. He's always been pretty good at the breakdown, and he's carried particularly well. There were times where he's made the hard yards. He plenty of leg drive, crosses the gain line and puts them on the front foot. But I said, he's a very committed individual, and he's always worked hard for the Dragons. It's very much part of the way he plays, and that's been evident in the first half. I think it's been a very good performance by the Dragons. They came here very confident, as Lynn Jones said, and their ability to keep the ball. They perhaps lacked a little bit of out wide. There are occasions where they looked as if they had space and they haven't taken advantage of that, but generally they've been deservedly going into the half-time 13 points ahead.
And on a day, Martin, when it was announced Hallam Amos, one of 3 more players to sign a national dual contract, he's looked pretty sharp, feeling those high balls, running back in what are, let's face it, horrible conditions.
You might not be able to tell from TV, but it's pretty torrential out there, the rain, and he's a very good player. He's a great talent. We've got some good wings, George North, Alice Cuthbert, but he is a star for the future, there's no doubt about that, and very, very solid. And they're the kind of the basic skills that you need in this sort of weather to finish off a game. Going back to Andrew Coombs, I think he's playing with somebody like who's got a chip on his shoulder. He hasn't been mentioned and he hasn't been picked in any Welsh squads, and it's a derby game, and I think they've just got that mentally. I think they're just a little bit above the Blues at the moment.
Well, certainly making the selectors stand up and take notice with his display in that first half today. And Phil, one man who wasn't expecting to play, or certainly wasn't expecting to start today, was Elliot Dee, the Dragons hooker. He was rushed in to the starting lineup after T. Rees Thomas pulled out in a warm-up. He's been extremely impressive and got his reward in that try.
Yeah, he has, Ross. As you mentioned at the start of the half-time break, the Dragons went through a bit of a purple patch, and this was led by Elliot Dee, right? There's some great examples here of him carrying, hits a collision, but he just keeps that second movement going, which is always important. Again, he's looking for work, a bit of footwork, great leg drive and ball placement. Again, he's working hard. Again, he manages a collision well, but he keeps himself moving, which has been great gain. And at the line out, what they did well for me here was a 6+1 with Lewis Evans out. Elliot Dee's thrown well all afternoon. 100% line out for the Dragons. We talked about it before the game, how important it was to keep people's spines in line and keep working in front of the ball, which they do well. Elliot's got it under great control, and what a try at the end for him. It's a great reward for the Dragons. Sort of 8 to 9 minutes where they had a real purple patch, and the momentum's all with them for the second half.
It certainly is at the moment, Phil. Sam, while you're here, I must ask you about the dual contracts. For a while it seemed you were out there on your own. Please have a bit of company now.
A few more boys have tagged along. Yeah, no, I always thought that it's not a sort of thing which I think will happen with a click of a fingers. It'll gradually phase its way in as boys' contracts expire and they renew them. But it's great to see that some boys are taking a bit of faith in that. Well, the relationship for the region and WA has worked great for me so far. So I've touched wood, I've stayed on the pitch, quite a bit this season, and hopefully those boys will have the same success as well.
We'll come back to Gareth Bale and see if he can do it in the new year perhaps, but the teams are back out. The rain hasn't stopped unfortunately, but we can go back now to our commentators. They're hopefully still in the warm. It's Gareth Charles and Jonathan Davis.
Well, in the dry, not the warm.
Yes, boiling it here, Ross. Boiling hot, to be honest. Taking my coat now. Down to my pants.
No changes at half time.
Right, you ready?
We wonder what the coaches will be thinking, what impact will be needed, but for the time being it's the ones that started that continue, and that kick right at the end of the first half, how important will that be to try and gee up the Blues and get them back into this one. The Dragons won here the first time they played when the regions were formed, and they have never won here since.
Now they've got to do exactly as they did in the first half. Play with intensity, pace. Oh, miracle ball.
Yeah, Lewis Evans looking for the one-handed upward offload to Josh Navidi. It's never on.
They've got to keep playing now, the Dragons, just do exactly what they did and keep playing. I think that's important.
Pull away quicker.
I tell you what, he'll have a crack here, he might have a little go.
Well, Hayata was all over Nickard and didn't really make any effort to roll away after the tackle.
No, Friday not interested, so bang it in the corner.
Line, please.
He could hit the game, but he just rolled on top of him, didn't he? The Dragons now, any opportunity, like I said, There's no penalty coming. Keep the scoreboard ticking over for them. Make sure that, you know, the Blues are going to try and chase the game. That's what they've got to try and do. Make them feel that they're chasing the game.
Landman calls himself and slips it back to the two that set up the try in the first half. Lewis Evans and Elliot Dee. This time though, they haven't got the platform ahead of them.
Got to go. It's got to get out there now. They're not going anywhere now. They'll be isolated.
Jonathan Evans, little switch to Matthew Putner.
Yeah, good call, Putner. Here's the call from you and the referee's mic.
On his feet, on his feet.
Oh, that'd be interesting to see that one.
Adam Jones has kicked heavy. Not sure what the bounce is going to do on the carpet. James Thomas.
Where's
Elliot Dee in the thick of things. An excellent game, the young hooker. Again, the Dragons are complaining that the Blues aren't rolling away. They're complaining about the way the turnover came in the 22.
You captain, okay?
the turnover?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his feet, isn't he? Just because he's left-handed. Sam Hobbs again.
Seven was holding him in. Seven was holding him in. Just have a scrum and playable.
And he's been very good over the ball as Sam Hobbs.
Let's go. Get my seat down there. Okay. Go, boys! Wind high. Seconds!
Now then, a couple of scrums went down towards the end of the first half, and this time Leighton Hodges is right in front of them.
Set!
They went down on the side of Adam Jones and Phil Price.
Ball was out. It's gone backwards. Play on.
Quite as the Dragons had meant, but they'll take that all day long.
Again, they get checks. Chase the full back. There we are. Thanks for that.
Oh, that's real pressure from Tukulet.
Thanks for that.
But somehow Ellis Jenkins manages to scramble away, but it's even more pressure on Amorosino, and they concede the 5-metre scrum.
Well, they've just got to keep on doing as they're doing. Great pressure. Really, really taking the game to the Blues now, the Dragons are.
You come out. You come out.
There we are. You know, there has to be some substitutions at the moment just to steady the ship for the Blues.
If you two do want to scrummage straight and square, we'll send you off and we'll get new players on. Is that clear?
All the pressure coming that side though.
Yeah.
Just a few words at the end. Yeah, say what you say. Say what you say, ref, and then I'll just chirp in at the end. Well, this would be
You'd be a ref in those situations. No prop has ever committed an offence at the scrum.
Hey, we need referees, don't we? Every game needs a referee.
Bind! Set!
Shot out on the Blue side.
Oh, have that. I dropped the goal, remember that? I dropped the goal, go.
Friday. Caught everybody by surprise the way it shot out of the scrum.
Turnover.
Yeah, yet another turnover by the Blues. At the moment, the Dragons cannot hold on to the ball at the breakdown.
No. Straight in, though. Straight in. They're back into the 22.
Ellis Jenkins is hard work.
Great turnover, Ellis Jenkins. Great turnover. There he is. It's a tackle, separation, on his feet, one leg in the air, keeps his eye on the ball, and then just gets the ball back. Unfortunately for him,
line number 3 change.
There we are, as I thought. A change.
Yeah, it's a change in the front row of the scrum with Tau Felice coming on, and Gareth Anscombe. 5 minutes into the second half. Comes on at fly half.
This could be a test for Anscombe now to see how he turns this around, because lacking composure, the Blues, because of the ferocity of which the Dragons are throwing themselves at them. That's a good position again. Look at that, great try.
Well, they went across initially, now they're straightening up. Okay, that's a great drive turned out to be. Now the Blues realise how dangerous it is. It's Elliot Dee again.
That's a try, I think.
Who's getting ever closer. I think they'll just stay on their feet for 2 more meters. But it's a penalty try anyway. Elliot Dee doesn't need to cross because the Blues have brought it down illegally. And a second try from a Dragons drive.
That is a big, big try. Psychologically for the forwards as well. Great body position. Elliot Dee is in the driving seat. All the backs joined the driving maul. Just watch them, they flying into it when they know there's a try on here. And that's a very, very good call as well by Leighton Hodges. There we go. At disarray. Look at the Blues forwards. I've no idea how to stop this. They're all over the shop. The forwards come in and they have total control. Total control, and that is the right decision.
Well, they were brought down a metre short, and even though Elliot Dee crossed, the penalty try already been given. Pridey converts, and the Dragons are up to 20 points to 3. What's the Blues' reaction? Dale McIntosh is with Phil.
Dale, you're in trouble matching the Dragons' intensity here, is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair to say, Phil, mate. Obviously, they play the Dragons, they've come here with a lot of intent today, and we haven't been able to match that, so, only ourselves to blame.
Is it all done and dusted yet?
Nah, mate, we're still there, buddy. Don't worry about that, mate. It's a long time to go yet, buddy.
My fault. Thanks, Chief.
3 days, but...
Touch by White, play on.
Ellis Jenkins. Well, can the Blues reply, and reply quickly? Turnbull.
Plenty of time left.
Reid. As the Blues look to get their carrying game together, but again, the ferocity the Dragons have shown in defence, very evident. Fau Felice.
Well, they haven't carried the ball very well. I just think that...
5. Once more.
We'll have that.
Tyler Morgan read it to Gavin Evans, but he did well.
We'll have that.
Lewis Jones wanting somebody to come on the outside run. Reid just about got there, but it's hard work for the Blues. Reid again stopped in his tracks.
Back.
Boyata. And as the ball went loose, came back illegally.
You've got to be quicker. Man coming in, it's got to come through the gate.
Right. Go for the points. What do you think? Okay.
Well, the Blues trying to get 5 or 7 rather than just 3. Not that it was a gimme. Fair old distance on it. So just over half an hour remaining.
Yeah.
Turnbull takes, and let's see what the Blues have in the form of a drive.
One stop.
Ellis Jenkins is in charge for them, but he releases to Lewis Jones. Fires it out to Anscombe. Out comes Tutelet from full-back.
Just had to check his run a little bit there, really.
Lewis Evans trying to turn Lou Reid in the tackle, but it's Blues ball. Reese.
And again, the dummy runner's no good.
Oh. Well, that was a punch by Gavin Evans on Jack Dixon, who was hanging on to him without the ball.
I just think it was a bit of nothing, really.
Time off.
Touch judge has his flag out.
It's a foul play against White. What have you got?
First, they've got an early tackle on 12 Black, on 12 White off the ball.
Yeah.
They've then held on to each other.
Yeah.
and white 12 has lashed out with the forearm to the jaw of the opposition.
Okay, and what's your recommendation?
I suggest you have a word with both the penalty only here.
Good talking to us, what usually have. You have a good talking to us.
Hang a sec. The strike to the face.
Hang on.
He's brushed out them with the forearm.
Okay, so it's not that serious then. It's just a penalty only. We're saying we don't need to review it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the penalty's against 12 white. 12. Number 12.
Well, he should be talking about 12, really.
Yeah.
We're in a face with.
Stop hanging on to him.
12 black. Look, when the ball goes, you two have got a responsibility to come away as well, okay? Yeah. Don't retaliate, okay? And don't swing, okay? The penalty's against you, okay?
So you didn't do next?
No. Not meaningfully, no. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure. You know, if you've been held on, Martin, I think sometimes it's frustrating. You've got to slack it away.
I think Chiffy said earlier on with the other incident that what you're supposed to do, shake his hand and ask him to leave me go, please. It doesn't happen, and look, it's frustrating. He's held on to him. He's come up in a rush to fetch.
Okay, 1 and 2 change.
Bit of push. It's nothing.
Absolutely nothing. When I played in league once, and whoever started it was penalised, which worked really, because once someone started it, usually if you're a second one, you could do whatever you want. You change it then afterwards for a bit though.
Usually whoever started it wasn't still around to finish it.
Knocked out and yellow carded.
By white.
Knocked off again.
Advantage over.
Let's go back to Phil.
I've got Rob Howley, the Wales backs coach, with me, Gareth, in the stand here. Rob, great news for the young lads who've been brought in on these national dual contracts. 2 of them playing today, of course. What have you thought of their performances?
Oh, they're playing superbly well. The foundation of Welsh rugby is based on the young talent, and in terms of our succession plan, the likes of Hallam, Tyler Morgan, Elliot D, players who are very young coming through. It's important for the future of Welsh rugby that it's in good hands.
You mentioned him there, Elliot D. He's been pretty outstanding this afternoon.
Yeah, I've been really surprised actually. 50 odd minutes in and the Dragons winning quite easily, and that's down to a great foundation at line-out time. Their driving line-out's going particularly well. Obviously you need to win the ball, so hooker plays an important part.
Any more in the pipeline, can you tell us?
Hopefully so, Phil. It's important that we look at the young talent as well as more the established players, so I suppose let's wait and see.
Jonathan, you'd like to ask Rob a question? Yeah, I'll relay it.
Can't he get in one of the boxes without guts? Has he got to sit in the stand? He's usually in the box.
Jonathan Davis, quick for Jonathan Davis. Why aren't you in the box? Can you get in there without guts?
He's probably right.
Thanks, Rob.
Get the side.
Couldn't get their hands on the ball, and Tuvey now looking to play the corners. He did well against the Zebra the other day when the Dragons went ahead, just played the relative corners, kept them down there.
And playing the conditions well as well. I think there's a lot of variety in their game. They've taken their opportunities, and we thought that's where the Blues' advantage was really, with their pick and drive. But
must have taken a deflection as well, I think, because it's Dragons' ball. So attacking line out.
It's turned out to be a very useful kick.
6+1 again. It's exactly the same line out that they scored off earlier on.
The battle for that one, and it's Christian Dacey, the replacement Blues hooker. He came away with it, but lost it backwards, says the referee. Now then, can they make the numbers count as they come out the defence? Great cover tackle from Tyler Morgan. Maybe should have gone a bit sooner from Amorosino. Now possession is lost. Evans to Tom Pridey.
Kicked it the wrong way. Then he should have gone on the other side.
And it's going to be a scrum, I think. Oh no, a check. There we are.
Easy for Tuckerlet to deal with, but it was the other corner where the open spaces were lying. Sensibly done by Lewis Evans. Good take. Anscombe, and got rid of it before being bundled over the touchline. 8! Stacey sets it up again for the Blues. Scrum half already half turned, indicating there was going to be a kick down the far touchline. Excellent take again by Tucky.
Yeah, no need to. He panicked there, just had to take it to the ground. He tried to offload.
Navidi gets the Blues over the gain line, which hasn't been happening that much in the second half. And very quickly up on Christian Dacey. Anscombe, Gavin Evans, over the ball goes Tyler Morgan, driven off it by Cuthbert.
Well, not
Jenkins.
Any change now from the ball carrying from the defence?
It's a similar situation from what they had earlier. And with time running out, do they get
7 and 9 change?
That a little bit nearer.
Captain, you weren't party to the conversation in the first half. I was the previous captain about people talking when the ball's in play. If it happens again, okay, you'll be knocked with the penalised.
Right, as the ball comes out from a turnover, right, just run it on, yeah. Right, stop it there. What should happen? He feeds this guy who holds these defenders, okay? But just watch what happens. He throws, run it on, the miss pass, then they should straighten up, but it allows those two defenders to drift across, and just watch who makes a tackle. It's the guy from the miss one pass as he should have held the defender. It's simple things to hold the inside defence to create space for the outside man.
Vossaway just on, wins the line out. It's better organised by the Blues. Travis Noyle looks to add himself and then looks to drag Brock Harris out the way. With the Blues still very much in charge of this one. Vossaway, that's why he was brought on. They need a ball carrier. It was Ellis Jenkins who's had to make way for him. Anscombe. Tovey determined to bring down his opposite number. Noyle, the Turnbull. Slow, steady progress from the Blues. They need to come away with points at the end of this attack.
Well, they've got to look at the defensive line of the Dragons now. They've got forwards in there against backs. This is it.
Allen out to Tuckelett. Just Gavin Evans on his outside, and again they went for the miracle ball.
But they're too flat. You know, the ball is coming out. Maybe they were slow. They've just got to hold their depth. You know, look at that. There's a man in front of the player. The extra man is in front of the ball. Just watch. There we are. Look, there's the winger Ambrosini is in front of the ball carrier, so he's out of the game. That's the extra man done.
Blues challenging the throw.
Great tackle.
Tremendous hit.
Vossaway.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay.
The clearance kick gets the Dragons a bit of breathing space.
Here's the run.
1-3, 13.
Great technique.
Yeah.
All in all, it's what they need. They need to spark the Blues. I just think, last Friday we were here for the Scarlets, and I think the Blues outmuscled the Scarlets in our first 40-50 minutes. It's been similar tonight. They just seem to have more energy. The Dragons, they win in all the 50-50s, just a little bit more spark. So they need something in the Blues.
The new dual contract kid departs. Rhys Jones on at fullback, and Tom Friday has moved up the centre. Knock-on advantage for the Blues.
Advantage over.
Which is now gone as Vossaway gets the ground. Turnbull. Ethan Jenkins. That new look Blues front row. Anscombe. Really the option. And inside his own 22. He's
got to slow it down.
Jones can claim the clean catch.
Just slow it down, no? Slow this down.
I think they defended really well, the Dragons. You know, the Blues have gone through the phases, but haven't found any gaps, or when they have been opportunities, they haven't really taken them. But you know, the line speed of the Dragons is very good. One-on-one tackles are strong, so it's a very competent performance.
Well, it's been a huge effort from Lewis Evans.
Outstanding.
It stays like this. It'll be a huge result for the Dragons. You know, they've had a couple of great, good wins this year, but as Lynn Jones said, it's such a difference when players come back from from injury.
Andrew Coombs will now go in the back row with Corey Hill in the second row.
Not sure, they must be injured, I think, Lewis Evans and Tyler Morgan. So both, Tyler Morgan defensively has been very strong, so to pull them off at this stage, I can only assume it must be injuries.
Yeah,
Joe.
I think as well. Yeah, it has to be.
Time back on.
Into the final quarter then, as Vasawa loses the ball in
Great
contact.
tackle, though. That's that's a great hit, ball and all.
Callum Amos got on the outside of Corey Allen and brought in Rhys Jones. Pridey has a look up to see what the options are.
He's on his own there.
Ethan Jenkins over the ball, and so is Josh Turnbull.
Turnbull.
Now Blues looking to develop the far side. Cuthbert hasn't had much opportunity with ball in hand. Vassawai's carried a few times since coming on. Lou Reed.
Great
Ethan
run.
Jenkins,
Great
good angle.
run.
Anscombe, Tucolette, Christian Dacey. There's much more focus and direction about this attack, but again,
it's great line speed there again.
Great effort from James Thomas on Josh Navidi. Vassawai.
Well, that's what they got to do now.
He's checking there's a late tackle as the ball went. Navidi slips it to Lou Reed. To double figures in phases as Hoyata makes it available. Anscombe steps on the gas, back inside to Tavis Noyle. Just a few metres to go now.
Good play by the half-backs there. Very good play.
Dacey. This is the best phase play that the Blues have put together all afternoon, and they're within a couple of metres. Navidi just short.
Got the score.
Straight over, go the forwards, and the try has eventually come. And it's Jared Hoyata who's got it.
That's good pressure, kept possession. More importantly for the Blues, didn't make any errors. They built momentum and finally scored a crucial try which brings them back into the game.
Yeah, good body position of Hoyata, Gethin Jenkins supporting him going over, and I think, like Jiffy says, it's the first time they've been able to keep hold of the ball for any amount of phases, and it's finally told. No real missed tackles, a little bit of magic from Anscombe. Broke the line here, it is off the right foot, he is a threat.
Inside support by Tavis Noyle, and that was the break that got them the field positioning. But they didn't look for the miracle ball. They didn't look for they just kept it simple, powerful.
Gareth Anscombe puts over the conversion, and now the Dragons will have one eye on the scoreboard and one eye on the clock.
Yeah, I think this is where really I was surprised they didn't go for the post. They still have got to score another twice now to get back into this game. As if they'd taken or attempted the three earlier, a try in this back, level pegging.
They had plenty of time, haven't they?
Still a two-score game.
70 minutes ago, plenty of time now. as I said before, the Dragons is all about playing in the same area, in the right areas, not in their own 22. Especially, I think there's been a big impact from the Blues bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, as Martin said, you know, with the substitution of the Dragons, maybe that's hit them a little bit. Great counter ruck in there.
Corey Hill's got it.
No issue. Brilliant, but I think it was Landman who went in there.
He's been impressive, Landman. A lot of typical hard South African second row. A lot of donkey work.
And he has. And also, I tell you who's played exceptionally well. James Thomas. Back row's been very good.
Well, the marginal boys, the ball is just about out.
Drop goal, is he?
Tubby is back in the pocket, looking for a long-range drop goal. Has he caught it sweetly enough? No, he hasn't.
I'm not sure if he needed to do that, actually. He just needed to just sit down, put it in the corner as he has been doing it.
It's going up, says Jason Tubby to Rhys Jones. Play down Rosino. Could set up a Blues counter.
Tackle again, Nick could. He can't roll away from there.
White, White!
I tell you what, the pressure from both sides has been exceptionally good today. Exceptionally good.
Tubby just wants to put it back downfield. Anscombe looks for space behind the Dragons' defence. Alamenos looks for the safety of the touchline and puts it in row 3 of the stand.
Yeah, I think it's what Jeffy said there, the pressure is what defensive coaches talk about all the time. It's the unseen work, chasing down kicks, putting pressure on the kicker makes such a difference. You know, people won't perhaps see it, and that man there, Nick Cudd, he's been outstanding again today, load of unseen work.
Yet more fresh legs from the Blues bench. Macaulay Cook replacing Lou Reed.
I think your only concern if you're a Dragon supporter is they've stopped playing a little bit. You know, they're taking 40-metre drop goals. I know there's a time to kill off the game. There's a long time left yet, so that would be your only concern, I think, if you're a Dragon supporter. They want to keep doing what they've been doing for the first hour, because it's been fantastic.
And they've got to keep the ball. If they keep the ball, they're in control of the game. And if they're not going anywhere, then put it into the corner.
But used well. Osawai stopped in his tracks that time by James Thomas, but then the supporting Blues players drive him on. And stays alive. Rain still pouring down as it has done all day. Navidi, Felice. Again, they're building up the phases. This is really hard defensive work, but Cuthbert spills it with his third intervention in the move. Amos, oh well played to Nick Cudd.
Keep on playing, yeah. Turnover.
Time is off. You've got a hands in by White first, yeah? Hands in by White. Okay. Simo.
Yes, mate.
Okay, you've got a check.
Yeah, I've got a high tackle. We'll get it up now.
Okay, thanks.
A bit of work for Gareth Simmons. Was this high on Josh Navidi?
For me, I think he's kind of maybe gone down into it, isn't he? I don't think that's... I got tackled like that loads, but my head didn't go back, so it makes it look a little bit worse than what it is, probably.
One more angle, lady.
It certainly wasn't a swinging
That's it,
arm,
yeah?
wasn't a
Another
dangerous tackle. But the arm is around the throat a bit.
Hits him in the chest, he ends up on the throat.
Okay, that's all the angles.
What area of the field was that in, Simo?
Sorry?
What area of the field was that in?
It's about 10 yards down towards the Dragons line from where you are now.
All right, okay. What I'm seeing there's a clear and obvious high tackle. For me, there's nothing more than a penalty in that, though.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so just a black one, yeah?
Yeah, I'll give you a mark now.
Okay. Look, you can see the review yourself, okay? It's a clear and obvious high tackle, nothing more than a penalty, okay? Because I think you just slipped up, but it is a high tackle nonetheless, okay? Just going to get a mark for the penalty. Whereabouts, Timo?
There we are. It's
said himself
5 yards out to the 22 on the 15-metre line.
Okay, mate.
I think it's marginal.
Which side? Other way, sorry, mate, yeah.
Could have gone either way.
Right side, that's it.
Just here.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, it is high tackle because he follows through with it and grabs it
15-metre
under the
line.
chin.
Yeah.
5 yards back from the 22.
5 yards back from the 22. On the 15 or the 5, Simon?
15-metre line.
He'll get there eventually.
This is like the golden shot.
Get there eventually, boys.
That's it, you got it there.
There we go. High tackle.
Which I think, you know, I think you've got to go for goal.
I think you've got to, you've got it, yeah. You know, they've got to score twice, whatever happens. So I think for the goal kicker, it's no goal kicks ever give me, but fancy yourself here.
Sorry? Yeah, but nobody indicated they were kicking.
No fair play, they're backing themselves to go for the
going
corner.
for the 2 tries.
Will fortune favour the brave?
And that's a very, very good kick as well. You know, you've got to be brave and you've got to go for the 5-metre line. That makes such a difference for the forward.
It makes a huge difference for the forwards pack. You know, a lot of some kickers maybe will be nervous, so he goes 10 metres out, or even if 7 or 8 metres away, it makes such a big difference.
Interesting. Double change at half-back.
Yeah.
Richie Rees and Dorian Jones.
Maybe just to spark it up and keep possession, maybe, you know, because I think, you know, they've kicked all the possession away, you know, and given the momentum to the Blues.
Turnbull takes.
Backwards.
Tavis Noyle picks up well. That's a great run from untidy ball. It means the pressure is still on the Dragons' try line. Felice leads the next charge. Dacey down low. Vasawai tries to bullock his way over. Turnbull again. The forwards charging, got the last one. They're looking for a repeat. Navidi stopped short, right in front of the posts.
No hands!
Again, the drive held out. Gethin Jenkins can't get over. Macaulay Cook can't get over.
It's not going anywhere, this, I'm telling you. This.
Yet another surge from the Blues forwards. Navidi tries an extra thrust but can't make it. Masawai goes to clear the ball back. Felice has another go. It's draining, it's time consuming, and the Blues need an end result.
Back foot.
All from within a metre. Now it's out wide to Anscombe. The change of ply. Has it brought him wide? No, he's short. Noyle reaches out, and he's got the try. Tavis Noyle that puts the Blues right back in it.
Well, he went wide as well. Lovely half break by Anscombe. This guy was there just to finish it off. Tavis Noyle. Decided to go wide. Steps, gets on the outside of Richie Rees. Lovely outside break. And then good clear out. Noyle spots his opportunity. Try.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic come out to the bench. I think the bench of the Blues and that man Tavis Noyle, it's been a bit of a mystery really why he hasn't been involved. Obviously Lloyd Williams has been in great form, but that's what he brings you. Brings you physicality. There's a threat around the fringes, and it's been a great comeback from the Blues.
Anscombe puts over the conversion, and going into the final 10 minutes, the game has a completely different complexion. From 20 points to 3, it's now a 3-point game.
Well, if you're a betting man now, you'd have to favour the Blues. As we said before, momentum in sport is massive, and all the momentum is with the Blues now. They've just got to keep possession. The Dragons now, they've kicked too much away. They've got to get possession now and keep it for a while.
Well, what an impact the Blues bench has had.
We thought the Blues bench looked very, very strong.
Now the Dragons have 9 minutes to survive.
There's plenty of time left for the Blues. Just need to stem it all now. The Dragons try and get something. 3 points, anything.
Andrew Coombs needs the charge back, but Navidi was there to meet him. Richie Rees on. Corey Hill to Landman. Yeah, superb. Oh! Coombs.
Good hit.
Tacklers are still flying in there. Andrew Coombs really felt that one. There's a clash of heads as well. That's so unfortunate for Coombs. They may have to stop this one because it's right in the vicinity where Andrew Coombs is hurt. Especially if it is a head injury, they need to get him as soon as possible. And now the medical people are on the park, which is a good thing. Play continues though.
You've got to stop this game now. They just call a scrum there. You don't like seeing people on the floor injured with a head injury. You have got to call.
The club keeps it alive. Richie Rees flicks it up to James Thomas. Rees again. Jones to Landman.
He's up on his knees.
Gets up to his knees.
Yeah, he's up. And nice. Always nice to see that. He's up on his feet though.
He looks dazed though.
Stay. I hope he's going to take a ball in now.
There's got to be a concussion check there. It has to be.
There has to be a concussion check. There's no way.
The Dragons have a penalty. And how important could that be?
That's a brilliant piece of play by the Dragons. They're a man short. One of their biggest ball carriers is injured on the floor, and they have just taken it in and taken it in and taken it in, and it resulted in a penalty. He has got to go for a check, a concussion check. He had a clash to the head.
Okay,
he was all over the shop.
Well, Andrew Coombs deserves every ounce of applause he's getting.
It's a massive game. He's had a massive game.
So he's on the right time on the stadium floor.
And what a big hit as well.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, same as the stadium floor.
I tell you what, it's a big kick.
Massive.
This is a big kick. It just stems the tide a little bit. Stems the tide. And they've got to score a try there. Difference. Big difference.
What a big kick this is.
Nails
but
it.
no pressure for Tom Friday. And that means now a single kick won't do it for the Blues. They have to find a converted try from somewhere.
This game is just, this is the hit. This is the offence. He's got to leave. He's pulled over. They've switched off the Dragons. Very clever kick by the Blues.
Well, it has been a great Boxing Day derby.
Yeah, a real derby this is. Like, you know, they've just given everything. Hits have been awesome.
5 minutes remaining. 6 points the Dragons' advantage. They've given it everything. How much they have left in the tank.
He is isolated. Landman's got him on his feet. What a steal that is! I tell you what. Landman again. You know, but just watch him. He's held up.
Taken in.
He's taken in. He's got a welly. This.
One.
Great chase by Gethin Jenkins there. Tell you what.
And Scum brought down on the 10-metre line. That's the Dragons' 10-metre line. Tavis Noyle finds his way through blocked. Well, there's just no let-up in the tackling. The ball was out. The ball was out.
Ball's all over the shot.
No, like the ball is just bobbled.
Give it, give it.
Rhys Jones.
Well, you can hear that's a very, very good kick, that is. But the chase has got to be good. Gethin Jenkins put the pressure on him. There's a chance here for the Blues. Broken defensive line.
A bit of indecision by Amorosino.
Yeah. So some tired bodies out there now.
Dacey. But the Dragons are where they want to be now, down in the Blues half.
Yeah.
Anscombe taken by Pridey. Anscombe with a follow-up tackle. Richie Rees.
Good. I think it was a good idea, but the execution wasn't great.
He must just hands on to the left, but then loses him.
He's away. It's on wide.
Masawai couldn't get going, but he's there to get the ball. Noyle to Anscombe. Cuthbert on the outside. Anscombe can't take the return ball.
Play on, go on.
Well, it's picked up by Jones.
He's in.
Jones could go all the way. Dorian Jones for the corner. That's it. That settles it for the Dragons. And for only the second time ever, the Dragons are going to win at the Arms Park. And their joy knows no bounds.
Well, they switched off, the Blues just switched off when the ball went down from the counter-attack. And this guy picks it up, saw the space on the left-hand side, accelerated through it. That's a great try to finish the match off. Just watch, there's a drop pass, everyone stops, always play to the whistle. Dorian Jones picks the ball up, and now it's a foot race between him and Gavin Evans, and just skips away. Great try, I think thoroughly deserved. There's the drop pass. They switch off. Did he knock it on? Well, doesn't really matter now, the try's been given. I think that number 5 there, that's great play.
Time out. TMO. Came out.
Oh, he's looking at the knock on now.
Leighton checking for a knock on in the build up to that.
Okay, mate, thank you.
Now then, I thought there was a knock on, he's checked it. Let's see it, this is it. It's first knock on anyway, so it'll be a new...
Dorian Jones comes in.
It'll be a Dragon scrum if not, right? There's it.
This one.
Yes.
Oh, there was off his left hand.
It's a scrum. It's a scrum for the Dragons.
That's so disappointing for the Dragons.
Yeah.
Hi, Simon. Well, looks like there was a touch of a knock on there.
Yeah, Leighton, did you see that?
Yeah, I did. So it's a knock on.
It's a knock on, yeah.
Okay,
well,
so
it's a
no
scrum.
try?
No try.
It's a knock on in the
What a
build-up by
disappointment
Black.
for the Dragons after all that.
That's a huge disappointment, but it's the right...
This of knock-ons off Dorian Jones' left hand, and the try doesn't count.
It's the right decision.
Such a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame because it was a great finish.
Tapped in.
No one saw it, but it was a knock on.
Skip. Knock on in the build-up to that try, so no try, it's going to be a scrum white ball.
It's been a scrum white ball. It can't be sure.
It's got to be a Dragon scrum.
So the first one was off.
Dragon scrum.
First one was off white. Second one was off black.
Correct,
so in fact,
correct.
it's going to be a scrum to black.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah? It's a double knock on. The first one came from white, then it came from black. So it's going to be a scrum, black ball. We've got time.
Everything's happening out there, and everybody is getting caught.
I've got to say, I've got to know this.
Close to halfway, Simo, yeah?
Craziness. I've got to pick my man of the match. My goodness. Man of the match today was that down there. Reinhard Landman.
Simo, because
he has been
what's
brilliant.
there,
He has been brilliant from the front. James Thomas, Nick Cunt have been great as well. But he's the one. He's done everything today.
Minute and a half. Yeah, minute and a half.
This scrum is vital now. You know, they just need to get it, go through a few phases, and then bang it. Whereas the Blues have got to get possession.
So 2 knock-ons, first white, second black.
One thing, of course, it does mean is that the Blues at the moment are still sitting on a losing bonus point.
Second!
At the moment, because there's 90 seconds to go, and from what you've seen this afternoon, anything can happen.
Set!
Get it out. That's what they will go.
Dragons now just have a minute and a few seconds to survive. They thought they were home and dry, but they've got to keep on fighting for 1 more minute.
Oh, this will be you've got to use it now. They've got to be careful. They've got to be an aggressive defence. Go for the just try and keep possession. How often do you see a referee give a penalty for the defending side in this position? Great drive that is.
Oh, lost it, just slipped out.
Turnover.
And the Dragons have lost it, and the Blues have one more opportunity. And the crowd, the big crowd, the big bank holiday crowd who've enjoyed themselves in the rain.
Great defence again. Great defence by Dragons. Push.
Penalty Blues.
Well, you've got to go for touch now. Go for touch. You got touch. You got time to go for touch. Get as much yardage as you can. First of all, good kick.
Missed touch. He's missed touch by Hanscom.
What's he doing now?
Oh, the ball's been put back down by Rhys Jones. They need to put it out of play. The Dragons.
Chase has got to be good. If they score from here, they deserve to win. 80 metres to go.
Here we go. This is it for the Blues. Left, finds Cuthbert. Veers inside. Good tackle by Richie Rees.
I don't know why.
Rhys Jones.
I don't know why Rhys Jones kicked it. I don't.
Blues still looking for this last try to clinch it.
Forward pass.
Looks forward to Josh Turnbull.
Forward pass. He's caught the forward pass.
And that's it. The Dragons have held on for only their second ever victory at the Arms Park. And boy, oh boy, did they have to work hard for it.
Well, I think they certainly deserved it. Great comeback by the Blues, but the first half performance, and then just that try, the composure, the defensive effort has been immense by the Dragons. What a great, derby. Thoroughly enjoyable, thoroughly deserved by the Dragons.
An absolutely rip-roaring Boxing Day derby. The commitment from both teams absolutely immense. And even though the Dragons were denied that late try from Dorian Jones, they had just about enough in the bank to hang on to victory because of the 2 earlier tries. 2 earlier tries that were countered by a superb Blues comeback, instigated by those players off the bench, getting 2 tries themselves. But the final kick by Tom Pridey was just enough to keep them at bay. And the 2 Joneses, Kingsley and Lynn, will be absolutely delighted with that.
Yes, they will. They will. It was just... It's a big win for the Dragons. I think everyone had written them off.
2 wins in quick succession for the Dragons. 23-17 this afternoon. And the skipper, the man of the match, is with Phil.
Yes, here he is, Reinhard Landman, man of the match. David, from the sponsors, will present it first of all.
Congratulations on getting this Pro 12 man of the match. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, David. Reinhard, Lynn Jones said before the game that you were good enough to win, and you certainly showed that.
The guts the boys showed out there. I mean, they didn't win in a long time, and I'm very proud. It's my first derby against the Blues over Christmas time, and I'm just very proud of the boys. They believed in themselves, and we pulled it through at the end.
It's been a bit of a long time coming, hasn't it? But you've got a few people back from injuries now, and do you feel you're ready to start the season now, kick on with the season?
Yeah, that helped a lot. I think we had about 10, 11 injuries in the beginning of the season, and all of them came back, and we can start building momentum now. We had now 4 wins in a row, so get together now on Monday and regroup for next Thursday's game.
It was your first experience of an East Wales derby. What did you think?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, really, the Welsh people are so they laugh about the rugby. They like the rugby very much. And over the festive season, it's just a good vibe being here. And games like this is why we play the game.
And I know you don't want to pick out names, but some of those forwards of yours were immense. Elliot Dee, for example.
Oh, he came in late. He was supposed to be on the bench. He came in late for TR, and I think he dished up a great performance, and we're very proud of the boys.
Reinhard, congratulations. Go and take a bow. You deserve it.
Thank you very much.
Well, a fantastic game of rugby, a proper derby match, and one, Martin, in which it just swung both ways. The Blues appeared to have lost it when the Dragons took that 23 lead. They got themselves right back into it, and then the Dragons just did enough to hold on.
Yeah, like you said, I think it was a brilliant match, brilliant derby game. You know, conditions were very, very difficult out there, but both sides tried to play. The intensity was there, which when people criticise the league, there's not much intensity, but you could see it was there for everybody to see that both sides were desperate to win, and Dragons thoroughly deserved it. I thought there was a stage in that second half where they tried to shut up shop a little bit too early. The impact of the Blues bench was fantastic, but ultimately I think the Dragons, they played fantastically well and deserved to go away with the winners.
Let's remind ourselves quickly what happened then. It was the Elliot Dee try that set the Dragons on their way in that first half after a bold decision to kick to the corner, and the Dragons then drove over from short range. And in the start of the second half, a very similar one. It was a penalty try on that occasion. They didn't actually reach the line, but it was deemed a deserved try. But the Blues then kicked back themselves, and two tries in quick succession. Darragh Howiata with the first, again from close range, a bit of a forwards dream. Gareth Anscombe set up the second Blues try with his dancing feet, and then a series of powerful drives resulted in Tavis Noyle touching down. And then this, a bit of late drama when the Dragons were clinging on to their lead. Dorian Jones picked up the ball and raced to the line, and it looked to be a spectacular finish for the visitors. That was denied as we saw the video ref picking up a knock-on in the build-up, but I think you can see what it means there. Reinhard Landman, his first derby, as he said, absolutely delighted. Have a look at these stats then. We talked about the breakdown being a key area, and that turnover stat is a very telling one. 12 turnovers won for the Dragons, twice as many as the Blues won, so a critical area there. And in terms of metres made, 292 for the Dragons, 276 for the Blues, so fairly even, but fewer carriers for the Dragons, so they basically made more of the ball they had. And Rob, as Martin mentioned there, a full-blooded Welsh derby.
It was one of the best derbies I've seen in a long, long time, to be honest, considering the conditions as well. But there was a great atmosphere here, and it's good to see that the Dragons, at the start of the year, we expected perhaps a little bit more from them. They had some decent signings. They've had their injury problems, but I think they probably underperformed. But as Lynn said at the start, they're starting to put performances together, and that was demonstrated with a great first half and just blood and guts to hold on in the end. So I really enjoyed the game. It was good to see, as I said, the impact from the Blues bench. I think Gareth Anscombe looks a very good player. He's come here with a lot of perhaps pressure to come and deliver, but he certainly looks someone who can do that.
He seemed to control things just that little bit better when he came on.
Yeah, I think he did. He made the right decisions. He got some go forward. Vosawai, in fairness, came on and carried well, give them a bit of momentum and front foot. And Tavis Noyle, who we haven't seen much of, again was whipping the ball away quickly to the likes of Anscombe, who started to bring players behind into play. And I think he was one of the main reasons they managed to get as close as they did.
You made the point before the match, Martin. Blues had a very strong-looking bench, and perhaps raised the question, why weren't a few of those players starting? Do you think it was by design and that they would come on and make the impact they did, or should the likes of Anscombe and Vosawai have started the match?
I think hindsight's a wonderful thing. I think Mark Hammond has tried to juggle his squad about. It's not only these two games. I think it's Leinster at home after that. So, like Gethin Jenkins, he can't play every game at his age. Needs to pick and choose his games. Anscombe, I'm surprised Anscombe didn't start, if I'm honest, because he's quite new to the setup. The more he plays, the quicker he's going to get into it. So, yeah, I think they did make a huge impact. But in fairness to the Dragons, I just thought the first 40 minutes, the top 2 inches, they were a little bit more desperate to win, a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder, and ultimately that's why they come away and won.
Well, one of the heroes of that first 40 minutes was the all-action hooker Elliot Dee. He only realised he'd be playing about 2 minutes before kick-off when T. Rhys-Thomas dropped out. He is with Phil Steele now.
Yes, here he is, Newbridge's finest, Elliot Dee. Just clear that up for us. Exactly how long before the start did you realise you were playing?
Well, I went up to warm up, expecting to be on the bench, and think TR took a bit of a knock in the warm, so I think it was about 5 minutes before the game. Bit of a shock, but it's brilliant whenever you get the time to play a lot of rugby. It's brilliant to get out there.
If you have a look at that monitor there, if we can just get it for you, you've got a replay of your try coming up. Go and talk us through it.
Well, I think I had the easy job there. Just throw the ball in and let the boys do the hard work and dive over. It's a bit of a cheesy grin, my first try, so great to get out in a local derby against the Blues.
I suppose you're going to claim the second one as well, so we'll probably have a look at that.
Well, I was a bit gutted. They blew up just before, but no, the boys were terrific in front. I just had the armchair ride at the back.
How good was that forwards performance?
Well, I think in these games you've got to set a platform out, and the boys are magnificent today. It's easy to be sat in the armchair on the back, and the boys giving you the platform up front, and the backs playing outside there then as well.
Here we go. Then you're pulling all the rest of the boys over. Have a look.
Like I said, the boys are doing the hard work there, and I was just gutted he blew up there. I thought I was going to go in for a second.
You never scored two before, have you?
No, well, first try for the Dragons today, so I'm delighted.
Fantastic. And what does that set you up for now for the rest of the season? Of course, starting with the return now next week.
Well, we know these derbies can go either way. It's tough. It's going to be another challenge next week, and the Blues stepped up second half, and I expect them to be hurting now and come to us with a lot of fire in the belly, and it's going to be a tough old game down at Rodney Parade for us.
And finally, you even got a mention from Rob Howley. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. It's always nice to get a bit of a mention, but I thought the boys were brilliant today, and when your team's playing well, it's easy to look good then.
Well said, Elliot. All the best.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I'm delighted to say that fresh from delivering his motivational speech in the dressing room, the triumphant Dragons coach Lynn Jones has joined us in studio. Congratulations, Lynn. A first Dragons victory over the Blues in Cardiff since the year regional rugby began, all the way back in 2003.
That's right. Records are there to be broken, and we were confident coming here today that we could do a job on the Blues. We've played particularly well since we've had a few boys back from injury, and we've built momentum. And the crowd that we're coaching here have sort of traditionally lacked a little bit of confidence and belief, and we've sort of included a couple of boys in there to motivate them to incorporate that, and with that confidence, etc. And people can play, and that's what we're trying to go. And today was another step of reassurance that what we're doing is the right thing.
And how much confidence will a victory against the Blues in front of their home fans bring the Dragons?
Look, we just got to enjoy it for what it is tonight, because next week we do it all again at Rodney Parade, and on back-to-back matches, as we experience in European rugby, the motivation lies now with the team that's been defeated, and the Blues will come back a little hungrier. But you know, that's what it's about, and it's about raising to challenges. Today, forecast wasn't great for either side to play a bit of expansive rugby, but both sides tried, and so you know. We're generally pleased, but let's see what happens next week now.
These regional derbies, Lynn, they're not for the faint-hearted, and today was no exception. Some massive hits going in today, as we can see on our screens, and it was just who was left standing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is what you get. Oops, that's easy. That's a little sight there. But no, this is what you get. This is what you want, isn't it? You know what? This is what regional rugby was set up for. Is big commitments, big people, big players playing in big matches and performing, and. Today was a big tester for 30 guys out there on the field at one time, so you know, ticking the box for everybody.
Matthew Rees returned to captain the Blues side today. Let's see what he's got to say to Phil now.
Well, Matthew, was very much the first half where the Dragons had the ascendancy, got the points on the board. What went wrong from your perspective?
Oh, we didn't respect the ball. I think there was way too many turnovers, and our kicking game sort of killed us a bit as well. And we've got to give full credit to the Dragons, the way they came out first half, and we knew it was going to be tough, but like I say, we're short turnover now and look forward to going down to their place next Friday.
I don't know if you've seen the stats, but the Dragons managed 12 turnovers to the Blues 6. Did it feel like that type of game to you?
Yeah, I think we've unforced errors we cost ourselves, and didn't respect the ball. Thought the Dragons done a good job in the contact area against us, so obviously we'll have to look at going into next week's game, but it's just a poor performance on our behalf, and we've got to put it right next Friday.
Much better in the second half though, and something to build on as far as next Friday is concerned from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last 20 minutes we went through the phases, kept ball, and obviously scored 2 tries from that, but I think we gave them too much of a lead sort of first half, and we knew we could always get back in the game, and we did that, but not good enough at the end of the day.
We spoke about the Scarlets game in this very spot last Friday. You made 6 changes from that win. Did that affect you at all?
No, it shouldn't. I think the strength of the squad we've got, there shouldn't be any issues at all. But unfortunately for us, we've come and stuck today, and there's been some harsh words said in the change rooms, and we've got to make sure that we come back on a Monday and prepare and make sure we put that right next Friday.
And you won't lack for motivation now, of course, for the second leg.
No, definitely. I think that's a good thing about these local derbies, and especially this time of year. But I think we went there at the races tonight, and from a player's point of view, we've got to hold our hands up and be accounted for, and I'm sure we'll do that, and we've got to make sure we move on and make sure it doesn't happen next Friday.
And finally, as a Welsh rugby man, what was the intensity like? Was that the type of intensity that we need in derbies in the Pro 12?
Yeah, the conditions played a factor, I thought, and obviously it was quite tough out there in the rain, but we're lucky to have this artificial pitch. But I thought the physicality was definitely up there, and just a few too many turnovers, and probably ball in play wasn't up where it should normally be as international, but yeah, we can take a lot from the physicality side of it.
Well, look, it was an enthralling game to watch on television, so well done on playing your part in that, and all the best for next time.
Thank you. Cheers, Phil.
Yeah, Matthew Rees, honest and forthright as ever, Martin. How big a factor is the fact that there's an immediate opportunity now to exact revenge?
Oh, look, it's good for the players, but like Lynn says, we see it. I think anybody who watches Europe last year, Leinster went to Northampton, won by 50 points. The following week, Northampton go to Leinster and win. So, they'll have a point to prove next week. The Blues, they didn't. I wouldn't say they didn't play well. They weren't allowed to play well because I just thought the Dragons just harried and hassled, and the guy, the captain, Reinhard Landman was immense, wasn't he, Rob? But we were seeing at the end, when the disallowed try, he was the first man in support. He was cover tackling. So they've got to lift their intensity up. The Blues going down to Rodney Parade is a difficult place to go and play, and they need to go up a few notches.
They certainly do. Let's bring Phil Davis in. And Phil, before the game began, you did a bit of analysis on the Blues power play last week on this very ground in the match against the Scarlets, and we were anticipating more of the same, but it was the Dragons who essentially set the tone when it came to power and physicality.
Yeah, certainly was, Ross, and as been mentioned, it was a full-blooded derby with great intensity. We've got an example here of the Dragons' power, and as we can see here, right, the forwards are harrying, they're hassling the Blues. They're putting them under pressure in their own 22, making it difficult for them to clear their lines. The work rate there from the forwards in particular was great. And here you see Vosavai coming off Ainscombe here. Nick Cudd gets in a low body position, right, and a great hit. Vosavai spills the ball, which is not an easy feat. And here you see the drive that brought the penalty try. They get the ball under control at the back. Elliot Dee's there again. People are working past him. It's great control, but the people at the front, as Elliot mentioned in his interview, are working exceptionally hard, and they're staying straight and they're keeping their spines in line, as highlighted there, like we saw in the first half for Elliot's try. And again, they've gone nearly 22 metres here, don't forget, which is incredible. Great control. The ref goes under the posts, but as Elliot says, he has a cheeky dive there and scores, and he's very, very happy. That was some great forward play from the Dragons, and they set the tone in that last 10 minutes of the first half, really, and it continued throughout the second half.
Thank you, Phil. And you, Lynn, a wily old forward yourself, and your right-hand man, Kingsley Jones, you must be particularly delighted in the way the pack went today.
Yeah, very much so. First of all, I just want to thank you for bringing me onto your show. It's the first time this season.
Almost welcome. You're a busy man these days.
I know Sean and Kingsley are taking the show over slowly. But no, we adapted to the conditions, and we brought a strength to the game, and that's nice to see. As I said at the outset, it's something that we've been developing and building towards. And you've got to have a power game in rugby union. You've got to be able to score at least one try from a maul and pick up a few kicks from scrum, etc. And you can shape the scoreboard in that respect. And we felt at half-time that if we could just get another 10 points, that was going to be too much for the Cardiff Blues, and you know what? That's exactly what happened. That's how good I am.
Two very unflashy players in the second row for you today. We talked about Andrew Coombs pre-match and at half-time, and Reinhard Landman as well, really coming into his own. What was it about that player in particular that made you want to lure him to the Dragons?
Actually, I was looking at a game with 2 second rows, and I was looking at the wrong fella. Reinhard, for me, had work rate. He had a great character, nice fella, and that's important. Personality of the gentleman as well. And but you know, when he gets on the field, he just keeps going and keeping going. And he's an example to any young player who wants to become a good rugby player. As long as you got your work rate and you're honest to the game and your teammates, then you've got a chance. And he leads very, very well as well. So another good signing from me.
And Elliot D as well. We saw his tries. The first one in the first half and the one that could have been his if it wasn't a penalty try. I mean, he's one of these guys, we've seen him in the under-20s, he's come through the ranks and he appears to be now just about peaking in terms of regional level.
Like Elliot's been playing well for last year, to be honest with you. He was excellent with us last year, and there's a lot of good players there in the under-20 system, and we're fortunate that, well, I won't say fortunate, we have got definitely a vein of players coming through that age group, you know, and it's from me to be brave enough to give them opportunities to show what they can do. And we've made room for them in our actual playing squad this season for them, you know, and we've got to play them. And they haven't had not just Elliot, but all the kids, you know, they haven't all had brilliant games all the time, but eventually, you know, through the experiences, they become regional players and they become international players. So, you know, it's a long-term process. So at Gwent, we just need to be a bit patient, and these boys will grow and become the future. When myself and Martin Hazel have long retired, these boys will still be playing professional rugby.
One dramatic moment at the end of the game I'd like to show you again, Lynn. It was Dorian Jones' electric break nearly sealed the deal for the Dragons and made it what would have been an even better victory, but the knock-on in the build-up to this, a bit of an odd situation where the try appeared to have been awarded and then we went back to the TMO, but this would have been the icing on the cake, would it not?
Yeah, look, and it would have been deserved as well. We know we coughed up a lot of opportunities throughout the game, and 30, 23, it's a fair result on what we witnessed out there today over the 80-minute period. Blues had strong moments and so did we, but overall I think what we see there, 17-23, was a fair outcome, where the Blues missed 2 kicks first half, we missed a couple of opportunities like that. It doesn't matter, you know, you win some, you lose some as the game goes on, but at the end of the day, that's a fair result. However, we're very much aware on January the 1st at Ronnie Parade, it's a different game, and this goes out the window, we kick off again.
Well, we'll see you then, Lynn. Thanks for coming in. You're always welcome, as you know. Hope to see you again. I'm never invited soon. Congratulations. Thank you. And we'll talk to Hallam Amos now, someone who today we discovered has put pen to paper on a national dual contract. Played very well today. He's talking to Phil.
Hallam, congratulations. Where does that performance of the Dragons stand in the pantheon of your short career with the region?
You know, it's up there. I think first half especially we were really strong. They struggled to get out of their half, and I think, you know, that was down to the efforts of our boys, you know, especially controlling the game at 9 and 10. I thought across the park we played well today, and you know, it was really nice to get the win, but as we said in half time, you know, in the changing room, it's only half time. We got them next week at home, so we just got to consolidate this win with a win next week as well. Yeah, if the Blues play like they did in the second half, I mean, they're going to come at you, aren't they, next time? Definitely, yeah. I think we tired a bit. We struggled to get off the line in defence as well as we had in the first half. And as you say, yeah, they definitely came back into it. So it's going to be a real battle next week. Should say congratulations as well on a personal note with your direct contract that you've been given. What does that mean to you as a young player making your way in the game? You know, it's a massive confidence boost. I think knowing, you know, from the Welsh point of view that, you know, that they see me and Tyler and Rodri and the likes kind of in their plans long term, it's, yeah, massive confidence boost, and kind of allows me to go out and really, you know, show what I can do on the pitch for Dragons. And also, how important is it to you as a Gwent boy that you remain with the Dragons? Oh, massively so. I think, you know, me and Tyler have grown up, gone through the ranks with the academy and, you know, the Dragons age grade sides, and staying here, you know, allows me to do my medicine at Cardiff as well. And yeah, it's ideal from all perspectives. Well done. Enjoy the win, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Cheers very much. Thanks.
Thanks very much for that. Well, let's go back to Phil Davis in the analysis truck. And Phil, we talked about the strength of the Blues bench, and they almost did enough to turn the tide in that game.
Yeah, Roch, they certainly did. You know, some great examples coming up here of the guys off the bench making an impact. You know, Gethin there gets his hands on the ball to Huerta, who drives it in. Tavis there gets it to Ainscombe. Ainscombe off his right foot, great step. And then inside support offload from Tavis Noyle. And again, the Blues have got good control here in the 22. And then Christian Dacey, again, off the bench, really dynamic hooker, taking the ball forward. Blues are in good control here, and they're just making small yards. If you look at the way Gethin comes from the short side of the open side, using his experience to latch on here to Huerta, and a great drive and a try. And that was, you know, to be fair, that was indicative. That carried on. The impact players off the bench did a good job, but it wasn't quite enough to get the Blues over the line. And it was a really big performance by the both forward packs, but the Dragons just shaded it for me, and a great performance.
Thank you, Phil. Let's have a look then and see how that leaves the table this evening. Well, 9th and 10th was where they were when this game started. They're still 9th and 10th, but of course the Dragons have closed the gap on the Blues, and it's positive for them. They are unbeaten in December now after those 2 victories over Bucharest in Europe. Rob, as we said, just 6 days now until New Year's Day when the Blues have a chance to exact revenge, but they've got to go to Rodney Parade to do that, and they won't exactly get a warm reception there.
No, they won't. It's always been a difficult place to play, and I think we saw just how much these derby matches mean to the Dragons in particular today. I think there's a little bit more about them, though. It's not just about blood and guts, which they've shown time and time again in the past. This is about understanding what to do and at the right time. And I think it'll be a tough game again for the Blues. I think they will make changes. They'll probably start with almost what they finished off with today, which will put them in a better position. But I wouldn't like to go to Rodney Parade. You know, if conditions are poor as well, it's going to be a difficult place to go.
It certainly will be, won't it? We haven't got a great deal of time left, Martin, so we'll talk briefly about tomorrow's derby, the West Wales derby. It's Ospreys v Scarlets. How do you see that one going?
Don't ask me for prediction after starting today. Yeah, look, it's going to be a full crowd, hopefully, at the Liberty. A fantastic derby, really intense. It's difficult to look past the Ospreys, but I think the Scarlets have got to learn from the Dragons today, really. They came here with an edge to them. You know, everybody's written them off. And you never know in derbies, but I think the Ospreys at the moment, they're the halfbacks, the informed halfbacks, probably in Europe at the moment. So I'd fancy the Ospreys to just nick that. OK, and they're at full strength. Make sure you tune in to that one tomorrow on S4C. And that is it from us. Thanks for your company today. Congratulations to the Dragons, their first win here in 11 years. Their turkey will certainly taste a bit sweeter tonight, that's for sure. That's all from us. Hope you can join us on New Year's Day. We'll see you then. It is a Blue Christmas. Good night.
When the blue snowflakes start falling, that's when the blue memories, oh, they start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas and white, and I'll have a blue